Okay, Guilty Gear Accent Core Plus R. God, that's a mouthful. This one, to recap a little bit, was ostensibly my first Guilty Gear. I say ostensibly because I think it might have been regular Plus, not Plus R, because Plus R was I think first released on Vita shortly after. But still, the point stands. Accent Core was like my first Guilty Gear. Friends were really into it, so I decided to hop on board, and I enjoyed it enough. Again, I got into this Blaze Blue Persona 4 Arena, like Aquapaza, there's a spy game not many people have actually heard of, a little bit of Tekken. So my dual shocks all broke. I had two dual shocks at the time, one that came with console and the spare. Both started drifting real bad around the same time, coincidentally when I started getting into fighting games. So I do not think that's entirely coincidental. But yeah, I have a lot of positive memories of this game. We're gonna mix it up this time though. We're gonna do arcade mode first compared to the Dizzy playthrough because I wanna get this band-aid off early. I think I'm going to get absolutely bodied. Hi Serena, thank you for the head pats. I think I'm gonna get completely annihilated because for some reason, Ino as a boss character in Accent Core and X2 is just kinda craggy. I like how I just picked it up because Serena started saying it. Also, here's something I didn't show last time. Actually, that kind of bleeds into the game itself. But you have different like borders as options, and you actually do have one that shows little chibis of the characters, which is a very cute touch. I swear Jam is the loudest character in existence. I also have been playing Jam and Strive a little bit, which means her moveset's so different. Like, they swap where her moves are mapped to the point that I have no clue what the hell I'm doing anymore. Yeah, I think we used a different layout last time. Also, last time I didn't even have the overall stream layout, I just full screened the game. Which, I kind of missed that, actually. The only problem is, as a VTuber, it ends up blocking a lot of the screen. She has a new, like, H, like 5H? No, 6H, I think. Yeah, that. So she has like a 2-hit. It's really hard to do a 6H because that's also grab. But she can do this now. Her previous like 6H I think was this, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not an expert. She still has like all her traditional mix-ups. However, well, that's actually not true. There's one thing that I cannot get to work in this, to the point that I think they got rid of it. Which sucks, because it's actually a move I like using. But we'll get into that in a moment when I remember. Yeah, I think it's just her vocal stem. That's not even just a localization thing. You can actively hear her saying it in certain cutscenes. And next up is Dizzy. Yeah, you can tell why, as a teen, I was slightly hesitant to play Dizzy as a main, because wow, her art in this game is a lot. I like her jellyfish pirate outfit a lot. I kind of wish that was an alt in this game. Owie. But yeah, I feel like her... what is it? 236? No, wait. 623. Like, doesn't go into 236 anymore. So like these two, like Eugene and whatever the name of this one is, I forget the name of it, it doesn't feel like you can combo this into each other anymore, which feels a little bit weird. Beyond that, it's like, yeah, this is still Jam from X2 and X. Oh yeah, grab escapes are a thing. I almost never do it though, because I'm not the best. She is still my favorite classic song, apropos of, I don't even remember if it was because of, like before or after I started liking the character of Dizzy. I just think she has a genuinely good theme. Like, I mean, this was boss music ostensibly in the first place, so it's going to be decent. That is not what I meant to do. I somehow did 2 quarter circles without meaning to. She still has her, like, charge mechanic too, but I find it really annoying to charge up for some reason. I always forget to do it in Strive, for example, though she has a lot of moves that kind of automatically give it to her. Yeah, like that forward dash, I can never remember the names of most of these moves. That's like back circle now, which feels weird after being a forward circle all this time. There's a lot of weird changes in Strive that a lot of her moveset is intact. It has well, that's a very cute win quote actually. It is interesting that they do know each other. We'll get to it later, but they do acknowledge that Strive did, or that Jam did go for the bounty, though again, in canon, she just kind of claimed it without actually, I think, fighting Dizzy, from what I understood, but I actually don't know. Guilty Gear lore is very fast and loose, it feels. One change that we will get into is, like, with the charges, they're color-coded, so they actually move, one of the inputs to actually be on, like, each major button that color coordinates. So, for example, one move is on slash, one is on kick, and one is on heavy slash. So it's a way to just easily glance down and see, hey, I have this charge now. Instead of this game where it's like, hell if I know which is which. Just because I played Jam a lot, and by that I mean in my brief stint with this game before, again, my dual shock started drifting. Genuinely, I think, that's not a bad change. I just don't like getting used to having a moveset change. It's like, Daisy has the little, like, projectile, like, I think it's, like, colloquially referred to as, like, a dagger, which used to be, like, 623, now it's, I think, just 236. So it's really confusing to me, because it's like, I kind of want to do the old input sometimes still. I feel like if it was on a DP motion, that would give better options. That's a very similar quote to in the previous game, actually. It's kind of interesting. Again, X has never been re-released in any capacity. I was actually reading a little bit about it. The general speculation is because it was published by Sammy that eventually merged with Sega, so it's Sega Sammy. You've ever heard that before? It's the same one. So because of the same rights issues that caused issues for Overture, so for those who don't know, Overture does not have most of the core roster past the first game. Like, they acknowledge Justice, but they literally can't name Dizzy by name. Which, I think it was because the first game was published by Arxis, the second one onwards were, by second I mean X, was Sega Sammy, or just Sammy. So any character created past that point was an issue for a bit. So I think that's genuinely why X might... What do you mean Dizzy who? Oh wait, yeah, no, I know what you mean, because I was just talking about Overture. They literally say something about, like, the Maiden in the Grove, which, based on traditional definitions, I have a few questions about the terminology. But, the other interesting thing with Overture is, it's, one, not a fighting game, it's basically like a MOBA, and two, it's got a very stripped down roster, and even then it's mostly original characters. So for example, Sol and Kai are still there, but you also have a different set of supporting characters too, most notably, Dr. Paradigm, who's a little, like, green dragon looking guy, who's a gear. Again, there's one episode of Dual Rulers where, like, Bridget and Unica are kind of hitting it off, and everyone's going nuts over a specific part of that episode. But the funny part is because everyone was going off about, like, the Bridget scene, I saw no one talking about Dr. Paradigm being in the episode, so when he pops up out of a box, literally, he, like, mailed himself to where Sol and Kai were. If I recall correctly, or Sol and Sin were, because Kai was put in stasis again. Thanks, Thunder Seal, second time. Like, I kind of popped off, because, like, oh my god, I didn't think Dr. Paradigm was gonna show up. It's like, this is the funny part. It's like, I mean, I still like the Bridget Unica exchanges, but Like, it was one of those things where it's like, you know, as someone who's more tuned into the lore, it's like, oh shit, this character that I was really not expecting to be in here. This is Apple, by the way. He's better in XR. In this game, he's basically possessed by a ghost named Esco. Yes, this is on purpose. Shouts to the ring. So yeah, he's got a ghost problem. I kind of want Zappa, but I don't know how the hell he would play. Like, I genuinely kind of don't know how he'd play if he wasn't actively being possessed. So to be fair, I think he's still possessed, but he's just more in control. It's kind of interesting how there's a lot of characters seemingly like that. Like in this game, you have Eddie as an example where it's Zato's body being kind of puppeted by Eddie, from what I gather. And then they resurrect Zato. I think the Conclave does. To be fair, I'm a little bit checked out of the lore. It's a lot. When you get to like the stuff with the backyard and the Conclave and the Post-War Administration Bureau and all that, you kind of lose me. I need to do a deep dive into all that to actually brush up, because I'm like not fully checked into that side of things. Yeah, Jam is always into cute guys, apparently. Not like me, for real, for once. Johnny is an interesting character because he's basically never gotten a redesign. He always just kind of looks like that. The girl in the pink right next to Johnny there, because of like the blonde hair and the twin drills, she kind of reminds me of Mami Tomoe from Monica Magica, which, speaking of, Monica just got a trailer and I didn't even know it did until like it was randomly in my recommendation, and I was like, oh shit, it actually got a new teaser. Someday that movie will actually come out. I'm so scared. I don't know how to feel about it. It's one of those where it's like, a lot of people thought Rebellion kind of ruined the ending of the main series, and I don't disagree, but I find it fascinating nonetheless. But it's one of those where it's like, it's been 10 years, like, do they stand by this decision? Actually, the girl right next to Jam right now looks like a blue version of Kyoko from Monica Magica. I don't know if that's on purpose, actually. It's like, why are all the background jellyfish pirates in this game? Actually, no, yeah, the one right, like, to Jam's left right now looks like Monica Kaname with black hair, like with like the exact hairstyle. That's weird, I never noticed that. This would this have, yeah, well, technically Accent Core would have predated Monica Magica, but there's also the complication of different versions. By the way, one thing I think I forgot to mention, and I've already screwed up by the way, is if you get to the final stage, you know, with half of your round wins being instant kills or overdrives, and without losing a single round, you can fight Order Soul, which is like the time travel past version of Soul, who's like as, I don't know if as Prime is right. But either way, I have never done that legit, I don't think, because it's very hard to try to do that completely legit. Anyway, hi Axel. This stage has an Easter egg where sometimes the guy in the background is drawing an alien. You actually get an achievement for it, believe it or not. It is one of the rarest achievements I actually have. Like, straight up. It might be, like, in the achievement showcase on Steam, I think it is actually the rarest achievement I have. Which is weird, because you'd think people would grind out achievements more in this game. It's not that hard. I would almost like to go, because, like, for full disclosure, I did straight up download a save for a lot of things in this game, just because I did play the PS3 version. Though, to be fair, I did not unlock nearly everything. So, something I almost would like to legit clear Accent Core, like do all the story paths on my own, and so on, all the arcade mode runs. So you have to do a lot, because you have to, like, do like gold versions and EX versions, I'm pretty sure. Hi Chibi, hi Peter, hope you're both doing well. You're here and very EP. I'm also EP. I am very out of it. I'm kind of amazed I'm doing as well as I am, which I'm not doing great. I'm very much spamming. But I'm actually getting through this faster than I would have guessed, to the point that I feel pretty good about this, but Yuna's gonna make sure I regret saying that. I know it, because she's just like that in this game. That was not a quarter circle. That ground bounce is interesting. It's like, I don't know what I'm doing against Axel. He's just a silly little guy. I was having a conversation the other day about how Guilty Gear is just a story about a bunch of different wife guys, basically, because you have Axel and Eno. Or Megumi, technically. You have... Oh, that's also interesting. Should point out later, it's someone else. You have Sol and Arya / Shaco. You have Kai and Dizzy. So yeah, it's just kind of the wife guy fighting game series. Maybe that's why I enjoy it more than some. Speaking of wife guys, I do kind of like the art style of this game, but I kind of got sidetracked because I was talking about X's legal stuff. I do think in general, even though it is different still in a lot of ways, it is nice to have a version of like each style of Guilty Gear represented in the modern era. Because you have X that just kind of continues into X2, like stylistically. Like a lot of the choices in the game just kind of like stay consistent. Like it's very much a direct sequel. And X Art's a very different style, but you have both Sign and Rev. But Rev is a little bit of a weird case because the story mode is different between the two. So obviously, like, if you want the full experience, you can play Sign, but if you also just want a decent playing experience, there's Revelator, which does have rollback, you know, which is very nice. So, like, there is a Guilty Gear in every style of the 3 main styles that has rollback now, which is cool, I think. Oh, I'm gonna lose this one, aren't I? That might be a waste, but we'll see. There we go. Not a waste. That was really stupid. Hi. If you want to play Guilty Gear, don't burst like that. That was really dumb on my part. If you did that against a human, you would pay for it, probably. Because that means we don't have burst round 2. So yeah, not a good play if you were actually fighting a person. But against a CPU, we might get away with it. You're cool? Oh, thank you. And BlazBlue is also in a similar boat where it's like Central Fiction is like, you know, stylistically very close to the others. I don't think there's any major roster gaps at this point in BlazBlue. To the point that, like, you can very easily just jump into Central Fiction and have a very good BlazBlue time. There's her little orb move again. Thank you for the stretch reminder. I'll take care of that. Oh yeah, I'm very stiff. I kind of lock into games like this. This is just the mantra of Soul players. Your attacks are pretty simple, but they're very powerful. Parry. Still. I think Champ still likes Kai as a strive. Thank you for the hydration check as well. I'll get on that too. Probably not as this match is starting. Actually no, Kai's gonna talk for a bit. So you're just gonna say like me after. Yeah. She's predictable. She's very easy to mix up. Oh, that's an interesting move on his part. Okay. Oh my god, okay. Yeah, CPUs are definitely waking up. Very concerned about how Yuna's going to go. Okay, cool. I'm also not using a great controller for this, I'll be real. I'm using like a Game Sir Supernova, which I got on sale like $10 off. It's a weird controller because it works decently well, but it also has weird input issues. Or not input issues, but like connectivity issues. Like sometimes it just will refuse to connect. Oh shit. That sucks. Kind of expected though. We're definitely going to get bodied by Yuna, I know it. Yuna's not an easy fight in this game. To the point that I actually might put a time cap on it. Like, if it just takes too long, we might just move on to story mode. Just because of, like, being such a problem. And, like, I got through her with Dizzy after, like, a lot of trial and error, but... Like, I feel like the CPU just really woke up, okay. Like, damn. It's like, this isn't even a hard fight and I'm having issues. See, now I'm wondering the same thing as previous, where did I forget to lower the difficulty again? Yakai? Damn, okay. Anyway. Round 2, or attempt number 2. Also, we didn't lose a single round, so I don't know if the difficulty scales according to that, like in, Strive, because that is the case in Strive. Yeah, I am dreading the next fight. I'm also just not playing great, to be blunt. What is that input? I finally got the input to work, but I whiffed. I was trying to do the other... Was I trying to do that super? I don't even know. I didn't mean to do that, but like, sure, I guess. I don't know why you just stood there and took it. Like, genuinely, I don't know why you just stood there and took it. Anyway, improvement. We barely lost any health, even. Neato, as they say. Oh shit, that was not a quarter circle. Again, the main issue with this controller is the D-pad. It's real bad. And that was something I heard going into it, but like, my DualSense is drifting. So while I would normally use the DualSense for this game, I am a little bit out of luck for that right now. So this one actually has Hall Effect, or TMR, I forget which one. So hypothetically this shouldn't drift, the only problem is the D-pad sucks. And I actually tend to use D-pad for this game specifically. Oh my god, yeah, this D-pad sucks, actually. Like, genuinely. I almost just ate that, like, attack just because I couldn't air dash. He just kinda ran up and did that. Yeah, I don't know why this D-pad's so bad, like, genuinely. It's like slightly baffling. It's sort of weird because it feels like D-pads used to be pretty decent, and just in the last few years they've been really bad on like across the board. And it's like inexplicable to me because it's like it doesn't make any sense why it's actually the actual reason for that is probably part cheapness. Same with analog drift. The reason why analog drift is bad nowadays probably isn't even entirely because of using potentiometers instead of Hall Effect, because I feel like even like GameCube and Wii era like analog sticks or like PS2 didn't have this problem as prevalent. I think it's just cheap parts. Ow, that move. I forgot he had that in this game, because he doesn't have that later on. Oh no. Got mad at the styling on him, clearly. Okay. Well, that sucks. Okay. Okay, I don't know how we won that. That was really dumb. We had, like, no health. But hey, we got through it, so neat. Neato, as they say. Sometimes you just win in really goofy ways. Anyway, time to die. So, boss, you know, has some very unique attacks that are exclusive to her boss form. Again, like in some incarnations, Dizzy has a boss's Wings of Light, which is just basically her IK. Ino is going to wreck me, probably. She has a move called Megalomania, which is this, I think. This is actually a great time to charge up if you want. Except that can happen sometimes where it like trails, or like it's drifting to the side. So if she does that, then you're just kind of screwed. Because then you just have, oh shoot. But she can also do a version that's just like, let's just fill the entire screen with garbage. You know what I realized as Dizzy? I don't think I used Burst in the Ino fight. Okay. This is the garbage one. I lived, somehow. Not for long, but I did live. Yeah, okay. I expected that. For this soul, you can retry this fight, similar to how Strive actually handles it, for most level 9s. Where you can retry it, but yeah, you do have to win both rounds still. Oh wow, we didn't use Burst. I thought I did. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna be a little bit safer with that. God, I just moved the little, like, overhead. It moved between games. So I keep accidentally hitting the wrong button because I'm trying to do the Strive version of the input. Okay. Okay, good start. Oh shoot. Oh, okay. You can just try to psych you out like that sometimes. That also sucks when she tries to do that if you're not ready for it. Oh shit, that's bad. That's real bad, okay. I'm also not using flawless defense enough now that I think about it. Oh my god, Ooh, okay. Neat. Ah, okay. Stress. It's fine. Round 3. I just realized Ino's the same. Ino's guitar is like the same color as Estrogen. I don't know why my brain went to that. Okay, she just kind of whiffed that, I guess. Yeah, I foresee this taking a few tries. Why did I do that? Yeah, this controller just sucks. I'm reaching that conclusion, that this controller is just not cut out for fighting games. Because the D-pad's so bad. I'm literally having to use the stick now, because the D-pad's so unresponsive. So that's my review. This is a nice little controller for, like, cheap, but I don't recommend it if you want to do anything really intense using the D-pad, because it's pretty rough. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. I don't think it took my double jump, is what happened. So yeah, this controller, which is the GameStar Supernova, I give it like a pass if you want to use it for a D-pad. It's Hall effect, so if you want to use it for like analog stick kind of games, like it's good in Rivals, I'd say. But like, if you want to do anything requiring a D-pad, this is not a good controller. I've heard 8-bit though D-pads are also pretty bad in some cases, so again, that's why I'm just kind of eyeing leverless at this point, because I'm like trying to find options that are good for the genres of games I like, and I think leverless is literally the best bet. Like, genuinely. Because having, you know, tactile buttons means there's gonna be, oh shit, less wiggle room. Okay, I timed the jump early. Yeah, Serena, also, I didn't acknowledge that comment. Okay, that was early. I was trying to predict wake up there. Okay. That's gonna move forward, yeah. Yeah, that time it went through, but it just went through really late. The Switch 2 controller also does not pass the concert test, to clarify. Like, genuinely, do not get me a Switch 2 Pro controller. I do not want one, because it does not solve my problem here. I know it's a bit, but just to actually, you know, clearly state that, See, that was me trying to do super again. Okay, it finally went off. Cool. Again, this controller is so frustrating because there's a lot I like about it, but just a lot that's just not great. It's good in a lot of areas, but it's also just got some fundamental issues that wouldn't even be an issue if you were playing like Call of Duty or something that doesn't really use the D-pad much. And need more like analog sticks more. Oh shit. Okay. The constant like changing your mind on is the frustrating part. It's also good for spacing in some cases. Yeah, like the only controller I want at this point is probably a leverless. Or some kind of arcade stick, just because that would mitigate a lot of my issues. It's a better D-pad? Yeah, it is fundamentally better, but it still is still not as precise as I would want for like a fighting game, basically. Which is what I mostly use controllers for at the moment. I'm playing so many fighting games. Okay, just gonna do that. Oh my god, I thought I mistimed that. Okay, we're still in it. Never mind, we're not in it. I'm gonna stop talking now. There we go. Whew, okay. I do think that took less time than Dizzy. At the very least, I think that was faster. Oh, hi. I forgot there's that sprite every time. And we won. Congratulations, we did it. On the whole, that went alright, actually. That could have gone way worse. I was expecting it to go way worse. I was expecting it to take a full hour, and potentially even into the next break, but not all the way to the next break, but like take a little bit over an hour, so past the next ad break. So I'm glad we finished it before the ad break, at the very least. That makes my life a lot easier for dividing things up. You know, if I was actually planning ahead better, which you'd think I would have, but I should have actually gotten the guide up for GM's story, because I actually don't have that up yet. So I'm gonna do that real quick while the credits play. Again, this is like the most feature complete, quote-unquote, version of classic Guilty Gear. It has like every character at this point. Genuinely, it's like it's Golden Week at the time of streaming this, at least. So it's probably like $3. So like if you want to play an old school Guilty Gear, this is obviously very functional still. X2 Reload's still there, which if you're like a story nerd like me, you might get some enjoyment out of the story. But this one has rollback, so like the other one has like fan patches for online. So yeah, I recommend it if you want like an old school experience. People are still playing online. The only problem is if you jump into ranked, you will get bodied because the people playing it still are like really good at it. And yeah, it is kind of nice having the different generations of Guilty Gear represented in some form on Steam with rollback in all three cases. Yeah, again, that went pretty smooth. That was like 5th or 6th try, I think, on Eno. I would have to go back and count, but it was not that bad. That one, actually, it might have been more like 7 or 8, that I think about it. Either way, that was pretty smooth. Again, Dizzy, I think, took way longer, so that's why I'm like, you know what, that actually was pretty good. I'll take it. I think I forgot how the alphabet worked. I forget how the alphabet works sometimes, because sometimes I'm scrolling through and I'm like, wait a minute, where's Cham on this alphabetical list? It's like, oh yeah, I wouldn't have passed her, because I'm in like Eno. Alright, so we'll take care of that soonish. I might actually go to break, essentially now, because, you know, we're not gonna get very far in the story in 6 minutes. But yeah, that was pretty good. I'm really happy with how that overall went. Again, definitely had worse runs, especially as a kid. I remember getting absolutely annihilated by Eno on multiple occasions. So, yeah, I'll take it. I like how I always treat the F in Fox as like an acronym, because so many fighting games have like 3-letter initials. So I just put the F because my VTuber obviously doesn't have a middle name. I have a middle name, which you can see down below. But like, why would I give my VTuber a middle name? I'm not that. I barely have any lore of my own at this point. I'm actually wondering what those scores are, actually. Some might be me trying to experiment with, like, different mode sets. But I'm genuine. Oh, yeah, like, I think I was trying to do something with Johnny to get, like, a secret ending. Maybe I was trying to get Order Soul. Like, spamming shit with Johnny. But yeah, that would make sense. Order Soul's whole thing, I don't think I actually successfully got to him. There's also Metal Mode, or Mom Mode, as it looks like. Can't tell you anything about that in this game. I don't remember doing much with it. But yeah, this might be one of the most like feature-complete, content-complete Guilty Gears, along with Xrd Rev 2. As much as I love Strive, there's still a lot that I wish would be added, like Metal Mode. I think would be a fun way to extend the life, like the single-player quote-unquote content of that game. Because otherwise, it definitely feels kind of not shallow, but like it doesn't quite hit the same. But with all that being said, yeah, we're so close. We're just gonna run ads now. And when we come back, we will attempt Champ Story Mode and see. I'm gonna cringe so hard because I remember some things about this story mode.